All right, so now we're going to hop into our Google tools. Now, you just created a YouTube account, but what you actually did was you created a Google account. And with any Google account, you get a ton of free tools that you can use that are going to help your business. So it would be a disservice, honestly, if I didn't at least walk you through some of these tools and then showed you how you can get a lot of cool Google free stuff that will only help your business. So I wanted to walk you through this. This video may get a little lengthy just because there's a ton of stuff, but feel free to look through, scan through, watch the whole thing if you want. Just because this is just stuff that it's supplementary, it's beneficial for your business. This is the same tools that we use, and they're free. And if it can scale up, I mean, I've got people and friends who are in multi-million dollar businesses who use Google's free apps to more or less run everything. So if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. So I figured I'd at least want to show you just so you can make that decision whether you want to take part as well. So here's some of the free tools you're going to get. Of course, you've got YouTube. You've got your Gmail, Drive, Google Plus, Calendar, Maps, Music, Places. Then your two on the end here, Google Chrome, which is a web browser, and the Google Store. Those aren't necessarily apps, but they're recommended by me personally. I think they're key for business. I think they're key just to have, and I think you'll really like them once we kind of discuss them. So we're going to go through each one really quick. So hopefully it'll be quick. You know, I'm a talker. But first, of course, is YouTube, Video Information Highway. That's what we know it as. It's the #2 search engine in the world behind Google Search. And the cool thing is Google Search is using YouTube videos as, more or less their main uh, information keywords or topics, so to speak. What I'm trying to say is whenever you YouTube something now, typically a video pops up at the very top. So what Google is saying is, hey, people want to watch videos more so than read about the information that they're searching for. So we need to put the videos in front of them, which is, really smart because number one, it keeps them inside of Google and on YouTube for a little longer because it sends them to YouTube. Which obviously is owned by Google. And number two, it's going to pave the way of the way the internet is used. And this is the future of business marketing. With Google sending everyone who searches for something to video now, the entire basis of the internet will be going towards that standard, which is video. So what that means for us is the days of creating a website with a bunch of words on it and trying to send SEO to that site to get people to go there and buy your stuff, those days are still here, but they're getting more difficult and they're starting to disappear. You have to be a very, very large authoritative figure to build a blog and get enough traffic for Google to say, hey, this is important crap and we need to send people here instead of this 3-minute video on YouTube. So it's got to be really important for them to send away from YouTube nowadays. So what this means for us too is it changes the game for marketing online as well, because everyone, like I mentioned, wanted to create these pages and send traffic to them, and people would read them and buy stuff from them. But now people are becoming more intelligent, for a lack of a better term, when they shop online. They want to see pictures. They want to know the credibility of their source that they're buying from. And honestly, they like to build relationships. They like to learn a little bit about the people who are selling to them or the information that they're providing to them. They like to get a little taste of what they're getting themselves into. And that's what YouTube can do for you is it can either put you as the business owner in front of your audience, or it can put at least a business entity in front of that audience. So even if it's just a PowerPoint and a voice, or or even a picture show with music, as long as they know it's coming from that source, it helps a little bit at least. It gives some credibility. It gives that feeling of trust a little bit more so than going to a random website with words on it. So next we have Gmail. This is your free email service. This is all we use inside of my business. You're getting over 4 gigabytes of free storage, which is a ton. I'm horrible about erasing emails, and if I haven't hit this free storage level yet. It's tough to do. I mean, you have to have a lot of emails in your inbox to reach that storage level. Um, you're going to get some extreme spam protection. That's the biggest reason why I like Gmail for my email service. Is long story short, a while back, many years ago, um, my email account, which I was using, which was a standard email account, different web-based email account, was more or less it was broken into by a hacker, and it sent 25,000 plus emails of spam to my contacts, which that's a big deal. I mean, that's the people who I interact with and who trust me. And that was a big deal for me because that really messed some stuff up. So I switched to Gmail as soon as it became available. I was one of those people who, you know, had to sign up early, and then they gave like certain people a copy of Gmail, so to speak. And yeah, I was one of those guys who got in on it from the get-go, and I was pumped. But it's been the best decision from an email standpoint that I've made in my business, and I love it. Some cool features that you're going to get is you're going to get filtering. I think filtering is so important, especially if you get with YouTube, you're going to get emails about every interaction, which don't get me wrong, that information is extremely valuable, but go ahead and create a Gmail folder and make it about YouTube comments or YouTube whatever, and filter your emails that come from YouTube to that folder so you still have access, but it's not going to clog up your email box. You want your email inbox to just maintain the most important information and emails for you to interact with, throughout that day, that actual day. So anything that I don't need to take my exact time at that moment and deal with, I prefer to send it and filter it to a folder on the side of my Gmail, and then I can interact and deal with it when I so choose. So I think that's really valuable from a business standpoint is keep your inbox to the information that is only necessary, and then filter everything else so you can still have it, you can still look through it, but you can look through it on your own time and not on the email sender's time, so to speak. Organization, like I mentioned, you can set up these folders, which is cool, and then forwarding. So I have multiple businesses. I think you already know that, and I'm not ashamed by that. That's why I'm here doing this course right now, is because it's been so successful in my other businesses. That's why I felt that I'm credible to create this program. But forwarding emails has been so valuable to me because I have a personal email account. It's I'll even tell it to you. It's adamlincolnauger@gmail.com. And every single customer service rep in every single business that I'm a part of can forward me an email to my account within that business. So to break that down, for example, I have a business called Freak Athletics. So my main email there that they send mail to is adamlincolnauger@freakathleticsllc.com. Then I have adam@getmoreviews.com, and then I have adam@can'tbeguarded.com. So and I could keep going. But long story short, instead of me having to go and check every one of these emails every day, my customer service reps for each one of these businesses filter anything that isn't necessary for me to answer, which is really cool. But the things that are necessary for me to answer, they send them to me, and then Gmail automatically tags them from what account or what business it comes from. So in my email box, I'll see a red email tab that tells me, okay, that's from Freak Athletics. And I'll see a blue one that's from Get More Views. And then I'll see a orange one that's from Can't Be Guarded. And I can go through and answer accordingly, which is really cool. So forwarding is really valuable. You can still keep those professional, credible names like Freak Athletics, like Get More Views, but you can just go from you can email out and receive emails from a Gmail account, which is really valuable. And then lastly, this is an industry standard from an email standpoint. This is, in my opinion, as good as it gets from my experience from a business standpoint. And it's app accessible, which is always good because if you're like me, you have your phone on you at all times, and it's like your lifeline when you're away from your computer. Next, we have Google Drive. This is my favorite Google app, hands down. You're gonna get it's so cool, and not many business owners. I mean, they Google does a good job of presenting that. Oh, so many Google businesses are on Google Drive, but the truth is, I don't believe that many are, because the people who I interact with don't even know that they have a Google Drive account, and um, it's crazy because it's so valuable and it's so beneficial. So if you're not familiar with Drive, you're in for a treat. What you're getting with Drive, if you have a Windows computer, you know, like you have to have like Word and Excel and PowerPoint, or if you are a Mac guy, you've got Pages and Numbers and Keynote. For your word processing, spreadsheet, presentation. Well, with Drive, you get all of that for free, and it's cloud-based. You can access it from anywhere you can get internet service. Okay, so that's so cool to me, that you don't have to even tote around like your computer, so to speak. You can go anywhere that you can access the internet, and access these processors, which is so cool. Um, and then next, you're going to go ahead and you're going to get 15 gigabytes of cloud storage with that. And what that is, that's just honestly, it's like having a little hard drive. And 15 gigs is a lot of storage for what you're going to put in this little hard drive. And the cool thing is, you can upgrade your storage to a considerable amount. I believe it's like 100 gigs for like $4, $5 a month. So it's a really good deal, especially at 100 gigs. That's a good amount of cloud storage. And again, the value of that, if you're sitting there thinking, well, I can just get a external hard drive that's a terabyte. Well, that's true, but then you would have to carry that everywhere with you. This is cloud storage, so again, you can access it from anywhere. You can access it from your phone. There's apps where you can pull your documents from, like there's so many cool things that you can do with cloud storage. And the cool thing as well is any documents that you make inside of Google. So if you make a word processor, you make spreadsheets, you make different presentations, that none of that's going to count towards your storage that you have in your cloud. So you can create all of those, and it's not going to even clog up any space whatsoever. What I really enjoy about Drive is it's shareable. And that's something else that's a little different from owning like a external hard drive. You can actually share this, and you can create folders based on who you want to share with. So if you have some partners in a business, you can have a folder with them. If you have some employees who you don't want to show them what your partners and you are talking about, but you want them to have access to the information that they have or that they need, then you can have a folder with just them um, as shared people who get that same information. You can more or less just drop any information into these folders, and it's going to be accessible to everyone, and they're going to get emails, and they're going to be let known when this information comes to them. So it's just so cool, and it's something definitely to check out. And again, this is app accessible as well. So if you got a smartphone, you're going to be able to access your Drive account, as well as you can download a clickable location on your computer, so you can actually interact with Drive, even when you're away from your online capabilities. So Drive continued, just because this is so important. Here's some of the ways we use Drive in our business. We have an employee checklist and exit sheets. And what that means is, when any of our employees are working, we have them go through a daily checklist to make sure that they finish all the jobs that we ask them to do. And then they have an exit sheet that they just fill out. It's a form that they fill out and just let us know that, hey, this was accomplished, this was accomplished. Here's what good thing happened today. Here's what bad thing happened today. And then they submit it every day that they work, and it's just automatically emailed to me, and I can look at it really quick. And then I say, okay, cool, awesome, good. Okay, we have a problem. I need to address this. It gives me a little snapshot of every business, so I know exactly what's going on without it taking a bunch of my time up. Next, we have a customer support reference sheet. So I sell a ton of products in a ton of different markets. And it can get a little overwhelming for customer support. So what I have is I have a reference sheet that they have access to. So if ever I create a new program or a new product or change a username, password, a domain, it all goes into this shared customer support reference sheet that they can access that change, it can update in real time. So if I have a new program come out or if I have a sale coming up, a 4-day sale, um, I can let them know ahead of time through that sheet. They'll see that there's an adjustment and then they'll get emailed as well. And they'll know that, okay, Adam has a 4-day sale we need to prepare for, and we need to do this, this, and this. So it's really cool. All right, the next is a product planner. For example, if this is me personally, I just use it for me, or if I'm doing a product with someone, we just kind of plan out the modules, plan out the submodules, and plan out all the information that we want to teach in our product. And then we just start picking it off and scratching out and deleting the stuff that we need to that we get finished, and then we'll only keep the stuff that we haven't finished yet. So that just is a way to move through a product quickly with some organization. Employee tutorial videos. This has been just unbelievable for my business. In the online realm of business, it's hard to really find employees who stick around. Number one, you can find them, but you have to pay for them. I have a lot of cheap employees. I outsource stuff very, very affordably and find really good people. But the thing is about them is they tend to kind of come and go. Every 6 months to a year, they typically is the shelf life for some of my employees. But the cool thing is, I can, without even wasting a moment of my time, I can go find a new employee to come in, share them to the tutorial video folder. And the beauty is too, you can give these people the rights only to access the information but not edit. So say I made an employee mad, they can't go and delete all of my tutorial videos, for example. They can only access them and watch them. So going back to my the benefit here, anytime you hire a new employee, you can already have Camtasia tutorial videos in place, and your employees will be able to watch them, learn the business quickly, and get all that information. So then they can just come ask you the few questions they may have, and then they're good to go. They're running their business, or they're running your business. You've got secure information storage. It's on the cloud. Your hard drive or your external hard drive breaks, you're screwed. Your computer gets stolen, you're screwed. The cool thing about Drive is it's secure information on the cloud, so you can steal my computer today and I'm still going to have every single piece of information that I need for my business on the cloud, which is, again, it's completely private and it's secure, and it's got that Google security just like your Gmail. Then finally, email swipe copy. I do this with some of my favorite email marketers out there. I will have a Google Gmail account set up, or I'm sorry, a Google folder set up on my Gmail. And I will have each one of my competitors, as well as the people who I know do a really good job in email marketing, I will have them their own folder inside of my Gmail that automatically filters their emails where I've signed up for their mailing list. It automatically filters them in to that Gmail folder for each individual person. And then what I'll do is I'll go through when I have some time and I'll look over their email and I'll more or less swipe the email copies that I see that I can tell are very good stories or things that I can relate to and that I can relate and adjust to my markets. And then I will move those emails over to my Drive folder as good email swipe. So then all I have to do is copy these emails, and I'll do them right into the same Google document that I have created in Drive for these email swipe copies. So I'll just press enter a few times underneath and rewrite these emails based on my market, my clientele, my business, and make them personal from me. So I'm not plagiarizing, I'm not copying, but I'm templating off of these email swipe copies. It's a really cool added benefit, so to speak. All right, so I know that was a lot, but we'll move on. Google Plus now is a free social media. It's the same. It's just like YouTube. It's free customer reach. Many people have their own opinions about Google Plus. It's not taking off, so to speak, like Facebook or Twitter did. But here's the thing. It grows your viewership on search, map, Google Plus, and mobile devices, which means that if people are searching for you, Google Plus is only going to help you be found. People are in here, and the thing is, 97% of consumers searches for local business. They search online. So think about that. 97% of people who are interested in your stuff are probably searching for you. And Google Plus and having a Google Plus account is going to give you the opportunity to be front and center. So um, it's important. You need to go ahead and kind of just go through your Google Plus and just update it and make sure that it has all the proper information on it, just so people, if in fact people find you, it'll be there for them. Um, and then here's the thing, and here's something that um, I believe Google Plus is going to be a big thing. I really do. I may be wrong, but the reason why I believe that is Google Plus just was linked to YouTube recently, and people don't like it, but it's happening for a reason. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. Google Plus is something that Google wants to happen. They want to make this work for whatever reason. Um, so I've been working on my Google Plus. I actually built my Google Plus up to over 100,000 uh, followers in a matter of like 3 months. So it's very doable to get followers in Google Plus. They will save that for another day, but I feel very confident Google's putting so much into Google Plus that they'll make it work, and it's going to be really, really beneficial in the long run. Next, we have Google Calendar. Now, this is another tool that I live by. It's a free multi-use calendar, meaning the beauty of this is it's all, of course, online based, so you can access it from anywhere. It's app accessible as well, but you can have multiple calendars running under the same calendar setup. So I can have a red calendar for Freak Athletics, a blue calendar for Get More Views, an orange calendar for Can't Be Guarded. And that way I can keep organized, but I can separate these calendars so I can just see what's happening for Freak Athletics. I can just see what's happening for Can't Be Guarded, or I can see all at once. So, for example, if I know that if I want to do a sale for each business, for example, a sell a product for each business, I know that I don't want to stack all of the sales up at the same time because it would probably get a little too overwhelming for me. So I can click a button, show all of my calendars at one time, and then rearrange and plan sales that more or less don't run into each other, but happen one right after the other, and it just helps me from an organizational standpoint. This is again shareable. So if you do products, you do any type of partnerships, you can share a Google Calendar. That way, you can continue to work on tasks together. You can see what each person's accomplishing, what they're getting done. It's just really valuable, and it's just great for partnerships in general, so you can see what's up at all times. You have email alerts, so if you set, hey, tomorrow I need to go to the doctor at 6 p.m. or 4 p.m., then all of a sudden 3 o'clock rolls around, you completely forget. You're going to get an email to your Gmail account, which if you have it set up to your phone, will link right to or a lot of phones now will actually, you can have an app it'll ding you when it's time to, give you an hour warning and let you know that you need to be somewhere. So it's really cool. Calendars are something that are really, really cool. You can integrate this with all your Google apps, like I just was talking about, which is neat. It's going to have a lot of benefit there. You can integrate it with current calendar software if you're like iCal, if you're a Mac person, or I'm honestly, I don't even know what Windows are for email nowadays. I haven't owned a Windows in a while. But again, this is app accessible as well. Maps are cool. We remember MapQuest back in the day. Well, Maps is kind of taken over MapQuest now. Whenever you search a location in Google, or how to get somewhere in Google, or plane tickets in Google, more or less Maps just kind of takes over, and you can see exactly how far it is and get directions and all that just in the Google search. That's Maps working. Maps is storing 21 million gigabytes of information, as of the last piece of information that I've last heard. So it's storing a lot of information, and what that mainly is, if you've been on Google Maps, it's unbelievable. You can literally zoom down in real images of real locations anywhere in the world. So you literally can zoom down to my driveway and see my house, which is kind of creepy, but it's doable. They update these satellite images every 2 weeks or so. They have street views that they try to update as often as possible, which are really neat, but they're not really hitting the small areas as much as obviously the big city areas are going to get that street view capability a lot quicker. It literally, these maps will take you anywhere, including off-route locations. If you want to plan a camping trip, I guess that's a capability that you can do. I've never done it, but I assume it's doable. It as well as app accessible. You can run Google Maps, and it's great for navigation in the car. And then it's a staple map used today for travel. I do believe at one point Google may have wanted to buy MapQuest, but they didn't work out, or MapQuest wouldn't sell, and something like that. I believe I heard. I may be wrong. Don't quote me on that, but obviously Google figured it out. Next is Google Play. This is their attempt at a cloud-based iTunes. So in other words, you can access it anywhere, store music, save music, buy music, stream music. It's targeting to take down. You know how Google likes to target and try to take down businesses. They're trying to take down Spotify, Deezer, Pandora. They're trying to handle all of that. And of course, iTunes they're trying to become the new iTunes. And it's app accessible as well. $9.99 a month gets you the ability to stream and download access to 20 million plus songs. And you'll also be able to create, based on whoever you want to listen to, you can create radio stations that are ad free based on the people you like to listen to. So it's pretty neat, and it's not crazy expensive for what you get if you're a big music guy or gal. Google Places, this isn't an app, but it is important. Just head over to google.com/business/places for business, and it'll walk you through how to fill out that information. If you're a local business, this is key because this is where you go and you can fill out and put your office hours, location, what your business is. You can keyword it based on what you feel that people should be searching for to find you. And if you don't do this, then Google more or less is guessing. But if you do this, it'll place you really, really high in those Google searches, especially for local businesses. It's going to be really, really valuable because they're less competitive keywords. So by setting up a Google Place, you're going to more or less move up the rankings really quickly. All right, so Google Chrome, this isn't an app. But what it is, it's a Google browser, and it's just like if you're on Windows, you have Windows Explorer, Firefox, Safari for Mac people. Google Chrome is by far my favorite browser, and I know some people are probably like, no, this browser's better because it does this and blah, blah, blah. Listen, I'm just saying from a business standpoint, this browser does so much for me, it's unbelievable, and it is my recommendation, top-notch recommendation. It allows you to pre-install actions into the browser, and I can show you how to do that. What I mean by that is you can actually download apps that work inside the browser to do all kinds of neat things that will help you. For example, if you're a procrastinator, here's a great example. If you're a procrastinator, there's an app that you can just click a button and it will block you from visiting websites like Facebook for a certain amount of time. So any site that you feel takes up your time or makes you procrastinate longer, it'll block that website from you accessing. It's just so cool. So what I do is I download Google Chrome, get rid of all of my other browsers, and then just make sure that that's the browser for me. And tools like that, and like procrastination tools and stuff like that, can become extremely beneficial. All right, another benefit is the URL box serves as a search bar. If you're a lazy like me, the last thing you want to do is type in www.blah.blah.blah.com. You want to just type in whatever the domain is, get more views, click enter, and go, and you'll click it again, and you'll find it. That's what I like to do, and that's what Google Chrome allows me to do. There's so many customizations with Google Chrome. You can customize your browser with tools, extensions, skins, much more. And then you've got the Google Store, which we'll talk about. The Google Store is like mecca of apps. I mean, hundreds of thousands of apps. I believe it's over 1 million now that help you. They're incredible. Most of them, I should say, are incredible free apps that will only benefit your business. But there are paid apps, just a warning. You will need to look through them to see. Most of them are free, but you're going to see some that are paid, or you can do upgrades and stuff like that. It's very easy to install and uninstall apps. Most of them, you just click one button, and then they automatically work from then on out. Very easy to install. which is always good. I appreciate that as a not so techie guy. And then many gems that will help your business are inside the store. So to locate the store, just open up a new Google Chrome window once you download Google Chrome. You're going to see in the top left, there's a little colorful bunch of little mini squares that says apps. Just click on the apps. And what that's going to do is it's going to take you right to the marketplace. And this is where you can look through and check out any app that you want. So you're going to go to, and let me actually go back a step. So when you click that apps button, it's going to take you to a page that has all of your current apps on it. You're going to see like Gmail and YouTube and those apps that you already have. But then you're going to see a image like the one on this screen right here that says store underneath it. You're going to click that, and then it's going to take you to the marketplace. And from the marketplace, this is where you can actually look through and search business apps and start downloading and accessing apps. For example, Buffer and Evernote I see on this screen are two very, very good apps for business. Here's a list of some of my must-haves that I recommend. I recommend you download the YouTube Options app, and what that does, it gets rid of like all the YouTube BS that you have going on. For us, we love it. We don't want the people who watch our videos to use it because it does things like gets rid of annotations, which is important for our business, but it allows you and I, if we want to watch videos of whoever, it gets rid of all the BS that YouTube does with ads and pop-ups and this and that and annotations. So that's pretty cool. LastPass password protection, encryption, auto login, such a valuable tool. It's app accessible as well. So it's so cool because I can put all of my websites for all of my different businesses inside of this. It will encrypt a new password that I don't even know, and then auto save and auto log in for me from not only my computer, but anywhere that I access my LastPass account. So it's accessible on my app, on my cell phone. So I can go to any of my websites, banking information, fully encrypted, fully safe. Any of my login backends for any of my websites, my mailing list software, my merchant accounts, all of that's just protected and it's right there. It's so easy. I don't have to remember passwords. I was one of those people who would literally spend 30 minutes a day just trying different passwords because I couldn't remember what it was. I'm that guy. Well, this saved me from any of that. All right, if you have a sales team, Pipedrive is really cool. It's a way to interact and kind of move the sales process along, and it's a really neat app if you have a sales team. If not, it's probably not for you. Stay focused. It does what I was talking about earlier with if you're a procrastinator, it'll get rid of all the websites that you shouldn't be on, but you always find yourself on, like the Facebook, Twitter, blah blah blah. Pixlr, Photoshop, kind of like a free alternative to Photoshop. I love it. I'm not very good with images and stuff. I can do okay, but I just use Pixlr just because if it's something that I need the power of Photoshop, I'm gonna hire someone else to do it who's a lot better at me than anyway. So I recommend Pixlr for those small and odd jobs. QuickBooks, if you have QuickBooks accounting software, there's a bunch of different accounting software apps you can do. So feel free to check it out. You can book.me, and what that is if you do any direct response or if you want to do some direct response, you can create really nice looking newsletters. You can create any type of card or anything that you really want to either send out in an e-format, which is like an online format. You can send it to people, or you can just download it to a PDF, go to Staples or Office Max or wherever you can go get copies made, and they'll actually be able to take this newsletter, print you a ton of copies, and you can distribute it how you so choose. Clear is a cool little app. This is good for your phone as well. And this app just allows you to put any tasks that you have planned, and it just allows you to put tasks and then mark tasks off. It's really simple, really quick, really easy. I have it on my computer as well as my phone, so it's something to really check out. Evernote, more or less, it's what it is. It's a note-taking software. It allows you to have different subjects, different notes. You can share, I do believe, in Evernote, so that's pretty cool. And I actually decided I wanted to Pixlr so awesome, I accidentally put it on there twice. So that's just some of the ones that I enjoy. Some advice, though, don't download any more than 2 apps at a time because it gets overwhelming. Like, I wouldn't recommend downloading all the apps I just told you. because it gets crazy. It gets a little too much at once, and you're not going to get the full benefit out of each one. If I were you, I would start with just the current apps that you have, especially Google Drive, and then over time, just start implementing one or two a week and finding the apps that help you and benefit you, as well as search around. Just because I recommend them doesn't mean they're going to work well for you. And there's probably some gems that either I haven't looked at yet or that maybe just hit your needs more so than hit my needs. So feel free to check her out in the marketplace and you know find the apps that help you out. So now I'm sorry that took a while, but I think it was very informative and very important for you to hear. So now on to YouTube, and we can get started and move forward with the course.